And what's up, everybody? This is DatGuyChris252 Sportscast Podcast. Here in just a few minutes, I am going to bring aboard the one, the only Vladimir Koloff. But before I get to that, I just want to say one thing, and that is with all this going on with COVID and stuff like that, I just want to wish everybody is doing swell and just, being healthy, not going stir crazy and stuff like that. So, as I said, let me get Vladimir on here. I'm sending him the link right now, and then we'll get this puppy started. Okay, just give me 1 second. I am doing like a couple different things at one time. Okay, paste. Where is paste? There we go. Okay, I'm getting Koloff in now. Okay, I'm messaging him. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Just give me just 1 second and we'll get this bad boy started. Okay. There we go. I just sent him the link, and I'll be bringing him in just a few moments. So how's everybody doing tonight? I will tell you more about the giveaway here in a little bit, but if you share this podcast, share this video, and get the message out, you'll be automatically entered into the giveaway. And I'll tell you a little bit later what the prizes will be. Okay, here we go. Yep, just 1 more second. Yeah, check my background. Let me move my head out the way and you can see my background. A nice Undertaker throw. That's pretty awesome, ain't it? And then I got Stranger Things as well. Both of them are my favorites, so yeah. Choo, choo, choo. Okay. Okay. So how you guys doing tonight? Yep, we're getting it loaded in just a few moments. So bear with us. Okay, just waiting for him to get in on board and we will get this party started now. Yeah, just 1 moment, guys. We'll get this going in just a few minutes. Okay, he's working on it as we speak. Okay, here we go. I'm fixing to add him right now. What's up, Vladimir? How you doing today, bro?
I am doing absolutely excellent. How about you?
I am awesome. First and foremost, before we get this kick started, I want to ask you, how are you doing during this time, and what are you doing to stay not just physically in shape, but mentally in shape?
Well, during this, it's a weird time we're in right now, quite frankly. But what I'm doing is staying. I'm trying my best to stay physically ready, but mentally ready even more so because this stuff likes to, in times like this, people like to get down, I guess so to speak. And Vladimir Koloff has a brain of steel. He's trying to stay mentally prepared and physically prepared, just doing a lot of home workouts and ready to get back on the road.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And like I told you earlier, I am so anxious, excited, and I just can't wait till the shows get going because seeing you and all the others just bust y'all's butt and perform this craft, it truly amazes me. And the first show back from this COVID stuff, like I told you, I'm going to be like Charles Robinson running that long entranceway in Warrior, and I'm going to be marking out.
Hey, I might be running faster than you to the show. Put it that way.
I believe so. I think you would too. But okay, and now let's get down to the nitty gritty. Anybody who's watching, feel free to send us comments. We'll both answer it. So just yeah. So first and foremost, I want to just get a little background. I know a lot about your background, but for those who may not know your background, what got you started in professional wrestling?
Well, quite frankly, I have loved professional wrestling my entire life. Oh, and I say that because I've been told stories about how as a child, as a baby, my grandmother would take me out of my baby bed or whatnot and sit me in her lap and we would watch wrestling on television. So I can't really tell you a moment when it clicked to me that I love wrestling because it's just been there. It's been in my life, my entire life, as long as I could possibly remember.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I can actually relate to that. My grandmother and my uncle, they're both gone on, but they got me into professional wrestling as a fan. I was watching AWA, NWA Mid South, GC, not G, what do you call it, Georgia Championship Wrestling, and all that. And I've been a fan since 1988. I'm 35 right now. I was a fan at 4 years old, and just seeing the over the top, uh, larger than life superstars, it was just wow.
Absolutely, and that's what I strive to be. My own self is to be a larger than life persona. I feel like we lack that in today's wrestling world, and when people come and they see the big Russian with the mask and animated, and I'm a little different, as in I use the different colors and designs. I'm not the typical brainless Russian that people try to accuse Russians of being. I do things a little
Mm-hmm.
bit differently, but it adds to it, I believe, to make when I walk through that curtain and get in that ring, people know exactly what they're about to see. They're about to see the best show that they possibly can.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Whenever I go to a show and I know you're there, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like a. This may sound awkward, but hey, I'm awkward. It's like going like a teenage girl going to an NSYNC concert. That's how much of a fan I am of yours.
Well, I don't think I've ever had that comparison before, but hey, there's a first for everything. There's a first for everything.
Yeah, like I told you, we're gonna have fun here tonight.
That's
Yeah, go ahead.
no. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody on here know the first time I actually saw you was at It was a APW show back when it was at the Haji Shrine, and that's when I remember seeing you the first time, and I've been following you since. And since then to now, I can honestly say no biasness opinion, but I basically was a fan of yours since then, and to see you grow into the main event caliber talent that you are now, it just warms my heart. And me personally, it doesn't matter if a performer is a heel, babyface, whatever the case may be. As you do your job, I'm going to love you, and I love cheering for you because I get the fans hating on me, and I just love it. It's so exhilarating. And like you said, with the colors, it gives you a uniqueness that not many others have or do, and it just helps your persona. And yeah.
I agree. I agree. And some Haley Dickerson Sykes says, "Don't forget how scared the kids are of you." The kids are, when I'm coming to the ring, they're terrified. But if I'm walking to my table to pack things up, they want to come up and they're a little shaky, and then I put my hand out, and things are a little bit different at that point. They definitely it's almost like a cartoon character in a way. It's like seeing that in real life. Oh, and I appreciate the kind words. And I will say that over the past year or so, I've noticed that the tide somewhat has changed. Some shows it's unanimous; they hate the Big Russian. Some shows it's a little more mixed these days. So it depends on what DCW, for instance. I for the longest time now I've had this almost mixed reaction. I definitely have the people that hate Big Vlad, but there is a cheering section, if you will, a Koloff section, if you will, and I attribute that to just my work and the work that I put in at the end of the day to try and be one of the best to step in the ring, because that's my goal at the end of my career, however long it may be. I want people to say that he is the very, if not the very best to step into the ring. I feel like that should be your goal.
Oh, definitely 100%. And like I said, I've seen the growth from you because you could see the passion, you can see the hard work that you put in to not only your character but in the ring, the profession, and that's why you got my ultimate respect. And I just put it on the screen. Mark Cho Hansen, sorry if I butcher your name, says, Mr. Koloff, how are you keeping busy in quarantine? I hear you've been playing Nintendo.
Mark Joe. Shut up, Mark Joe! I know who Mark Joe is. But yeah, I've been playing quite a bit of Nintendo. I mean, it's no secret that I quite enjoy the Super Mario Brothers series in its almost entirety. So, definitely have been with the quarantine, and everything, been kind of staying busy with that as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've been doing some behind the scenes work on my podcast and stuff like that. I got some more content in the near future, and it's going to be up and popping. I had some stuff lined up before COVID happened, and that kind of threw a monkey wrench into it. But hey, it's still going to work out regardless. And speaking of Nintendo, Nintendo is my favorite game. I like PlayStation, I like Xbox, but I'm an old school gamer
Yes, exactly.
at heart, and I have a game unit. It has over 600 games downloaded on it, and I just ordered a same thing with Super Nintendo games. So I'm waiting for that to come in, and I'm going to be marking out for that once that comes in.
Wow, well, let me tell you, this is a little bit of a peel back in Koloff's life, but I'm a big fan of the classic video games. I actually own the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 64. I have to count
Nice.
them. I have so many consoles. GameCube, the Wii, both Wii's, the Switch, the PlayStations 1, 2, 3, 4. Xbox 360. I don't play it very much. I have a couple of different editions of the Nintendo 64, and as well as the Retrons, where they played the multiple, and the Sega Genesis as well.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I've played pretty much everything from Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Game Boy, Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast. My favorite, and you may or may not agree, but my favorite thing of all time is Yoshi's Island on Super Nintendo. I can just get lost in that for days on end.
It's a good game, but my favorite would have to be Super Mario World. Super Mario World for Super Nintendo. That game I can pick it up, beat it in one sitting, and be done. And I have
Nice.
this thing where I have several games that at least once a year I go and beat them. A lot of Super Mario games.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I love Super Mario. Me and my dad, he's gone on to. Me and him used to play Duck Hunt Mario on regular Nintendo and Super Nintendo, minus the Duck Hunt, and it's just an awesome way to bond with people and pass the time. And kids today love them, but they don't know the actual love of those games. 8-bit or no bit at all. That's all I gotta say.
Well, my daughter, who's about to turn 6, actually, she's very much into the games I play as well, and that's kind of besides the wrestling, because she's starting to enjoy the wrestling, is more familiar with it now. But other than that, she'll sit down and watch me play some of these games, and she wants to play. She's not very good at them, but but that just kind of helps with the bonding between father and daughter as well. It's cool.
Yeah, awesome. That's good to hear. And Daddy Koloff can train her to be daughter Koloff.
Daughter, yeah, I say it all the time. Needs more Koloff.
I definitely agree with that 1,000,000,000%. Um, right now, let's go ahead and let's not beat around the bush and save it for later. Guys, I want you guys to share this, like it and share it, and stay tuned, because in the next few weeks, I've been getting with Vladimir, and what we're going to do is do a giveaway of a Vladimir Koloff t-shirt and an autograph picture, and I'll give you more details later. But like this video, share this video, and you'll automatically be entered into the sweepstakes to get that piece of merch.
Do it. Do it now.
Yes, like Koloff said, do it now. Okay. Now that we're getting into the meat of it, I actually have a few questions from my perspective for you. And guys who are watching, please ask any questions you want, and I'll pop it up on the screen. But the first question I have for you is, dead or alive, in the mainstream wrestling, so to speak, who would your dream match / feud would be, and why?
Shawn Michaels. No thought about it. Because I mean, obviously he's the measuring stick for a lot of wrestlers, and I feel it is of my personal opinion that I feel like I have better matches when it's kind of the bigger guy versus smaller guy. Not that Sean is much smaller than me, but when you have that dynamic, I think it's really good. Plus, you add the talent of Shawn Michaels, so that would have to be it.
Oh wow, yeah, I could see that. I remember Shawn Michaels, Vader. I forgot what SummerSlam it was. I think it was off the top of my head, but 96. Yeah, the build for that was just amazing. Shawn Michaels being this David, Vader being this Goliath, and I'll tell you what, rest in peace, Vader. But that match was the best match on the card, and the build up for it was just incredible. And I could see that with you in HBK, and I could see like a strong build up, like a Hulk Hogan and Iron Sheik, or Hulk Hogan, well, and Sergeant Slaughter. Just the build up, that's the type of build up I can see you one day on the big TV, so to speak.
Well, appreciate that. Hey, Hulk Hogan, if he thinks he's got one more leg drop in him, I wouldn't mind giving him a Russian sickle and putting him out for once and for all.
Yes. Come on, Hogan. We know you want more Koloff. Let's get that trending right now. Twitter him, whatever. Let's do this.
That's right. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Okay, I got a question from somebody in the thing. I'm going to pop it on the screen, and you can answer it however you want to answer it. 1 second. Hold on. There we go.
Okay.
Is it true you are scared of LBU Steve Dixon?
Steve Dixon. Steve Dixon. No, I'm not afraid of LBUs. I'm not afraid of anybody. Big, small, whatever. Vladimir Koloff is not afraid of anyone. I've got a little surprise for you. See, I'm not the only one that's here right now. In fact, I've got a little bit of jewelry with me. And let's talk about this right here real quick. Being you want to bring up LBQs, he works for Diamond Championship
Oh, that is
Wrestling,
beautiful.
where I am the heavyweight champion. Why am I the heavyweight champion? Because I am the very best
Yes, speak away.
that CW has to offer. So big or small, high flyer, technician, brawler, it does not care. They will step into the ring with Vladimir Koloff. They will get knocked down by Vladimir Koloff. And he will remain champion for as long as he wants. So to answer your stupid little question, Steve Dixon, absolutely not. I'm not scared of LB Hughes. As a matter of fact, anytime LB Hughes wants to get in the ring with Vladimir Koloff again and not have to worry about an exposed turnbuckle or a referee that's more than biased, then by all means, get in the ring. I will embarrass you.
Yes, yes. No offense, LBUs, but my money is on Vladimir, 1,000%.
Good man.
And that's all I got to say about that. Okay, I have another question. This is from me. Of all the Gulf Coast wrestling promotions, what's the word I'm looking for? What rivalry, I'm trying to say it right. What rivalry piques your interest other than the ones you're in from any Gulf Coast wrestling promotion or indie wrestling in general?
Ones that I've had or ones that I would like to have or
Oh no, not ones that you like or are in, but you as a fan to watch or follow.
well, okay. In this area, truth be told, it's not so much the rivalries that I look at, but there are a
Yeah,
lot of guys that gel together at times, and they just consistently have very good matches. And there's so many to name, honestly, that I'm not going to waste, not waste time, but I'm not going to bring it all out at once. But I will say this much, that the Gulf Coast area, as far as independent wrestling is concerned, has a lot of talented guys. Gulf Coast is underrated in this country, and so with that said, yeah, that's my stance on it.
oh, that's cool. I like that. I like that. I have to do this. This ain't from me, just for the record. This ain't from me. Sorry, Brandon. I don't mean to throw you under the bus, but I'm going to. Brandon Turner from King of Wrestling podcast said, "Why did Vladimir run from Hornswoggle at Widowfest?"
Brandon, I'm going to
That's not for
slap
me.
you when I see you. I'm going to slap you when I see you. I want you to know that. But no, I did not run from Hornswoggle. We were screwed in that 8-man tag team match. You know that, Brandon. You were there. You were the ring announcer. You saw it with your own eye. Don't try to act like I was scared of Hornswoggle. I would crush him like a bug. Stupid.
Don't poke the Russian bear.
So, let's see what's going on in the chat room. See, are you afraid of yourself when you get pissed off at someone who messes up in the ring with you? Messes up in the ring with you. Quite frankly, whoever's in the ring with me deserves to get what they get. So that's how I stand on that.
Okay, yeah, my Wi-Fi kicked me off. What was your response to Brandon again?
No, I'm just saying that I'm going to slap Brandon when I see him. I was not afraid of Hornswoggle. I did not run from him. We were screwed out of that match. And he knows that. He was the ring announcer there. So I'm going to slap him. You're going to get slapped now, Brandon. Needs more fist in your face.
I like that. Hashtag that. I got one from Mike Britt. Who is your all-time favorite Russian wrestler?
My all-time favorite Russian wrestler, it would have to be Ivan Koloff. Now, for the record, I know I have the same name as him, but there's no relation with the Koloff family. But Ivan Koloff, I mean, he pretty much revolutionized the Russian wrestler in the U.S. I mean, former WWF heavyweight champion. The list goes on of his accolades. So it would have to be him.
Oh, here's a good question. I'm going through the thing. Brian Bartmus, who are you wanting to face first in the return show for DCW?
That is a good question. You know, the last show, me and Brimstone kind of had some unfinished business. Our match ended in a no contest, and I know a lot of people want to see that match and see who can pull out of it a winner, which is me, duh. So, probably Brimstone. I want to get on the ring with him. And I want to prove to not only these stupid fans, but to him that I am better than him. But yes, Brimstone would be the guy. But the truth be told, I want to wrestle everyone in the DCW locker room, big or small, because I have to show the world, I have to show everyone that Vladimir Koloff is the very best.
Yes, definitely. I can definitely agree with that. I could see you against anybody on the DCW roster, and it would be a top-notch 5-star match. The last show that we were at in was it Pascagoula? I think it was Pascagoula. I think you faced I forgot who you faced, but it was in the main event after the Battle Royal. That night was exhilarating, and that night was amazing because I got kids mad at me because I was going, needs more Koloff, and I just love ruffling the feathers of kids. I love being a heel. I could be a heel or a baby face, but when it comes to the crowd, I just want to get them going. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and you know we feed off of that kind of reaction. When we have good nights like that, then it makes our night a lot more fun, easier. You know, we live for it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the first show, hold on, I got a small camera on my laptop, but my first show going back, here's a little story. Brandon knows this story, and Mike Britt knows this story. I actually was going to attend WrestleMania this year with some friends of mine. A friend of mine won mine and his ticket on a radio contest, and it would have been my first ever WrestleMania trip. And I ended up getting a shirt just for giggles. WrestleMania, I wasn't there, and that's going to be my shtick when the shows get back together.
Hey, that's great. That's great. And it's unfortunate you had to miss the WrestleMania, but weird times we're in. Needless to say.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And I agree with Mike Britt. DCW fans are fire, and that's my goal. Also, he brings. Sorry, I work at work. I'm a maintenance worker slash cleaner, and the chemicals have gotten to me. So don't mind the coughing. It's not COVID. It's the cleaners. But
Well,
no,
hopefully I can't catch COVID through a broadcast.
no, you can't. Yeah, you can't. But Mike Britt made up a good point. DCW fans are fire, and I agree with that. And my goal is once it gets back going, I'm going to go to DCW, go to Louisiana, go to all of Gulf Coast. I just want more wrestling and more wrestling and more wrestling. But what I want more is more Koloff.
That's right, and hey, I will say that too. As far as even some of the events that I'm not a part of, there are a lot of good promotions in the area. Some I work for, some I haven't had the opportunity to yet. But it is definitely worth. It's worth putting. I mean, gas in down here is down in the southern states is like what, $1.50 right now. Fill the tank up and go to a show. It is worth the
Heck
travel.
yeah.
It's worth the
Yeah,
travel. It's worth the price of admission.
yeah, the last show we went to before all this happened was that night. You faced too quick. Me and my friend
Yes,
who went, Wayne, the gas was like, and this was before COVID really started to make its rounds in Mississippi. The gas was like, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 120 or 140, something like that. Fill up.
exactly. So it's rather cheap. So people on the food stamps, you have no excuse now. Just trade it out or whatever crap you do, and come to a show and see Big Bled.
Yeah, Megan Hunt says, "What's up, Cola?"
Megan Hunt, how is it going? You speaking of people who need to travel out and come see me at these shows? Come on, needs more
Yes,
cola.
needs more cola. Get that
He
chant
gets it.
going. Another one popped in my mind. Another question popped into my mind. Um, and this is, hold on. If you can take, say, for instance, you and the main event crew, any promotion, whether it's APW, whether it's Elite Wrestling, whether it's Louisiana shows, what's one faction to faction feud would you want to be a part of? Doesn't matter where. Which one would you like to face in a faction feud?
Well, yeah, it's interesting. You have a lot of factions out there that call themselves undisputed. They call themselves elite, inner circles, things like, quite frankly, we call ourselves the main event because everywhere we go, we are the main event. Whether we're
Ain't
the
that
first show, the first match on the show, the middle match on the show, or the main event of the show, the last match of the show, so to speak, we are the main event. So it's not really a question of who do we want to face; it's who wants to face us. And but my answer to your question is anyone, anyone. I don't have any. I don't have any like specific. I want to wrestle just this guy or just that guy. I do have people on my list, but at the end of the day, I will step in the ring with anyone who feels that they can get in the ring and compete with Vladimir Koloff. Vladimir Koloff is the show, as Megan Hunt just said in the chat room. I am the show.
exactly?
I am the one. I am the very best when I step into the ring, no matter what ring it is.
I agree with that 100%. But the reason why I brought that up is I am a huge main event faction fan, and I'm also a fan of another faction. And I think y'all would tear the house down. It would be like, to me, it would be like the Shield and the Wyatt family. main event against Hoss of Bentley with Bobby Grief and Hannibal Jackson. That would be amazing. I will like
Actually
show
set
me
to
the money.
I was actually set to wrestle Hannibal in Louisiana before COVID came out, and was looking forward to that. But the House of Bentley could use more Koloff.
Koloff.
The house could be invaded by the Me movement, as you can see right here.
Oh yeah,
So I
definitely want
would
that shirt.
definitely be down to do that.
Yeah, that would be good. That's actually cool. I wish. I mean, like I said, these times are messed up. But yeah, I would have definitely made the trip to go see that 100%. Okay, guys. I have some more questions, but I don't want to ask all the questions. So, do you guys in the chat have any questions before I ask a few more? Because I got a few more that I definitely want to get your insight on, but I want to give them a shot first.
Absolutely. Ain't no way yeet yeet. Oh my god. What a terrible thing to say. That makes no sense. 0 cents. 0 cents at all.
I'm sorry, but this is not Ray Fury. This is the show, Vladimir Koloff.
Vladimir Koloff.
Number one.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, I guess I'll give them some more ample time, but until they start asking, I'll go. I got a couple more for you. What's going on in wrestling right now? There's like a what do you call it? Back and forth. There's two accounts. It's this mystery hacker for WWE. One is the SmackDown hacker, and then the other one, there's a legitimate one called I Am Anonymous WWE. I've been following that too. I have my opinions on who I believe it is. I want to get your take before I give my take.
To be honest, I don't really have a take on it. I'm not sure who any of these hackers are. It's not Vladimir Koloff, unfortunately. So.
Now I'll tell you what, that would increase ratings by 1 million if it was.
I mean, that is true, though. That is true. That is true.
But my take on it is, I'm a big fan of mystery games like Clue and stuff like that. Like going to escape rooms, figure out clues. That's just what I'm into. And there's two separate accounts. One is the WWE version, and the other one, I'll get to that in a minute. But the WWE one is called The Message on Twitter. And I like watching the clues, like the old show on, I forgot what channel, ABC, called The Mole. It gave you clues who the mole was each show. Well, to me, for the SmackDown hacker, I think it's not just one person. I think it's they're going to push some mid-carders up into the upper card, and Ali, Chad Gable, and possibly Xavier Woods. And based on the clues, I believe that's what's going to happen. What's your take on that if it's them?
I mean, it's more than likely could be them. I'm not sure who it could be. But it'll be interesting to see who it will be.
Oh, definitely 100%. I'll let you read it. You could see it in the chat, but I'm gonna put it on the screen.
Ray Fury is better, and then Ray Fury is better than you. Yeet. There's a bunch of gibberish, quite frankly. Let me just put this out there.
I disagree with that.
As far as masked wrestlers that wrestle in the Gulf Coast area is concerned and beyond, you're looking at the very greatest right here, the best. As far as wrestlers are concerned, the best. But hey, I get that Ray Fury has a lot of fans. A lot of fans. But I have a feeling that Ray Fury and Vladimir Koloff will cross paths very, very soon.
I had to give Mike Britt a shout out. I agree with Mike 100% with that. No questions asked. You are the best on the Gulf Coast because, like I said, you definitely have the passion and you put the work into every just microscopic fragment of your whole being as a wrestler, and it's noticeable. And that's why Mike Britt, myself, and others are such huge fans of yours.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. I definitely do. And mask versus mask, you know, eventually, I feel like Ray Fury versus Vladimir Koloff will happen. You never know. It might be mask versus mask, but I think that these little yeeters, these these yeet heads or whatever they call themselves, are going to be very, very, very disappointed in the outcome, unless they hop on the Koloff bandwagon.
Yeah, no offense to, and I apologize to any fans of him, but honestly, I don't know too much about Ray Fury or follow him that much. I mean, I want to, but I have no opinion. Sorry.
Look, no, look. I'll say Ray Fury is very talented. He's very talented. He's going to go places. I'm looking forward to
Awesome.
the day that I step in the ring with him.
I think that'd be a good match based on what you said. I definitely, I need to invest some time in him, and I'm gonna check him out, watch some videos, stuff like that. Hey,
He
Mike,
just needs more Koloff.
need more. Hey, that's the cure to COVID. Koloff vaccine. Need more Koloff.
If COVID had more Koloff, I don't want COVID, but if COVID had more Koloff, we'd probably be a little bit better, maybe.
Exactly, I agree. But yeah, back to the other one. The I am anonymous WWE. I think it's CM Punk, even though he's trolling and saying it's not him. I have a feeling it's going to be him, no doubt.
When I'll say this much, when CM Punk returns to wrestling in whatever capacity, it's going to be a big deal. I mean, it was a big deal when he returned for the backstage show that they do, so it will be a big deal.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Your last show at APW, I was talking to you and Hannibal. If at all possible in APW, could we potentially see a one-on-one with you and Hannibal, or a tag team, like I said? But one-on-one would be good too.
Well, like I said before COVID, I was set to. It was a triple threat match, and I was going to be wrestling him, and I was looking forward to it. I do believe it will happen sooner rather than later, whether it be APW or any other place across the Gulf Coast. But Hannibal Jackson, he is very talented in ring performer, and Vladimir Koloff is looking forward to hurting his feelings when I get in the ring.
Yeah, I'd have to be Switzerland and neutral because I love you both. I love the both of you.
Hey,
I'd,
right, he's
I'd have to
he's
be neutral.
talented. He's talented. It'll be a good match.
Yeah. Here's one too. Like I said, questions are just rolling in my head. I got many questions. So guys, I don't want to hog the questions up, but unless you start asking, I'm just gonna hog the questions up here.
Hey, hold it up until you see it down until they start asking questions. Go for it.
Yeah. I am so happy that you are the champion of DCW. For champion versus champion matches of any company, I know your answer is anyone, and I would love to see you versus anyone. But more specifically, for the championship, like not title for title, like both titles are on the line, but what are some other champions of companies that you would specifically like to face against, and it would be build champion versus champion?
Well, before I go into that, I'll say that my favorite champion versus champion match that I've had was last year. I wrestled JD Jenkins. He was the Pro Wrestling Ego Pride champion, and I was in my first reign here. So I'm not looking forward to that rematch. But as far as champion versus champion, this we were just talking about him, but Ray Fury has a lot of titles in this area. He's the Lost Art of Wrestling champion. He's the Elevate Pro champion. The list goes on. Those are two titles that Vladimir Koloff wouldn't mind getting a hold of. And as a matter of fact, I do hold the Lost Art of Wrestling Blessed to the Future briefcase, which is the equivalent to Money in the Bank in the
Sweet.
WWE. So
Awesome.
that's why I keep saying sooner rather than later. I might just be hurting some Ray Fury fans' feelings. But
And that's
but
fine with me.
he does come to mind. Other than that, there's a lot of champions around that I would like to get in the ring with.
Awesome. Yeah, there is sort of a backstory reason why I asked that. And I'll go ahead and tell you. The last local show, out of where I live at in Pensacola, went to Elite. It was in, I think it was in Milton, Gulf Breeze. Purple Haze, he became Purple Two Belts. And I honestly think you and him would put on a classic, and that would be an awesome champion versus champion match right there.
I've crossed paths with Purple Haze on a couple occasions, and I will say that I see what he can do in the ring. And Vladimir Koloff, if I step into the ring with him, I'm looking forward to it.
Ooh, oh, and see, like I said, questions are just popping in my head left and right. What do you think of Ryan O'Shawn's heavyweight 2020 campaign? Honestly, I would love to see you two go at it, a brute versus brute. I think that would be a hard-hitting match. What would you say about facing Ryan O'Shawn?
Ryan Ocean, I've crossed paths with him on just a couple occasions as well, but I've seen this campaign. He has very valid points. If someone was to book Vladimir Koloff versus him, I do believe it would be a heavy hitting match, and it's up to promoters in this area. If you want to see it, make it happen.
Oh, for sure, definitely book Koloff. I mean, book him everywhere. Another sort of ties into that. Well, no, I take that back. It doesn't tie into that. I was thinking of something else. We know what your finisher is, but if you had to choose a different finisher, what would it be? What would you call it, and why?
Canadian Destroyer. No, I'm kidding. Yeah,
okay,
that's an inside. That's an inside joke. I haven't really put much thought into changing my finishing move. Truth be told, because simply the Russian sickle, lariat, clothesline, whatever you want to call it, has been very effective for me. When I first started wrestling, I used the leg sweep a lot, which was somewhat effective, but not quite. It didn't win me every match, and I was actually training, and I was hitting people with clotheslines, just in training, and someone looked at me and said, "That needs to be your finishing move," and it clicked that way, and ever since then, that's what I've used.
Awesome. Yeah, I love your finisher. But like I said, just one of those what ifs. Brian Bartmus says, with the history of wrestling on the Gulf Coast, which former Gulf Coast legend would you have loved to face?
Technically, I've wrestled him before, but I would like to turn back the clock about 20, 30 years or so and get in the ring with Bullet Bob Armstrong. Mask versus mask, even. I've wrestled him twice, one in a tag match, one in a singles match, but I think he would be, in this area anyway, the top guy that I'd want to get in the ring with.
Yeah, he's tough as nails. I've actually gotten to talk with him at APW and pick his brain, and that man is just a fountain of knowledge, and like I said, he's bad to the bone, just like his music says.
And I heard he's fighting cancer right now, and all differences aside, with him and our past of stepping in the ring together, I am praying for him.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I've actually gotten to know him sort of closer through Brian. I've been talking with Brian through Twitter, DMs, and stuff like that because the connections here at APW. And I talk with him, not daily, but I talk with him on occasion to see how he's doing. And he's doing good considering. And like I said, he's tough as nails. And my prayers are with him, and keep up fighting the good fight, Bullet.
Absolutely.
And speaking of Brian's question, like I said, my mind just works like that. He said Gulf Coast legend. Well, I'm going to reverse that and say which current Gulf Coast uprising star would you face? It doesn't matter where, what promotion, whatever. Who would you like to face and quote unquote maybe give the rub to?
That's a very good question, and there's a lot of talented guys out there right now. I'm going to quote put someone over. I've technically wrestled him before, but we never had the real opportunity to really showcase what we could do together. I would have to. I think I'm going to give that due to Wes Warren. He has wrestled in the Gulf Coast. He's in Texas right now, but he's putting in the work, and that's what you have to do in this business. So I would have to say Wes Warren.
Awesome. Yeah, sorry, my Wi-Fi keeps kicking me off. Stupid. We got some
problem. Here. Your Wi-Fi is pathetic.
I agree. Cox Cable needs some Vladimir Koloff, and every time you sneeze or just a little droplets of water, my Wi-Fi acts like this.
Well,
here's a good comment right here. Mike Britt, Bob is still lifting weights, a real man's man for sure. That is true. That is very true.
That has to be tough to do that during this time. So big ups.
Oh yeah. Another question that was popping on my mind about that. WCW used to do something called the Lethal Lottery as a tag match, but I'm going to go single one-on-one. I'm going to throw a few names that I know on the top of my head. You throw names on the top of your head, just random people or people you have faced or haven't faced in a while, or you have never faced. And let's say you drum them up in the lottery. Name the top 1, 2, or 3 that would be a good Lethal Lottery match for you to face. I'm going to throw some names like Suicidal Soldier, Tommy Hilliard. I'm going to throw in Chris Black and Van Vicious. What are some names you would throw in it in the lottery? And like if you roll the tumbler, what would be a good contest with you?
Oh, let's see. Let's just go with some guys I'm familiar with. Let's throw Charles West in there. Let's throw Sean Black in there, and let's throw Too Quick in there.
Okay, there we go. And, 6 names.
Mm-hmm. And
okay,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna do a rollie in my mind. Sean Black.
Sean Black, but we've wrestled before and we've had some knockdown dragouts. So, as far as I'm concerned, we could do it again.
Oh, unfortunately I missed that match, but I would definitely love to see that one. Let's go with Let's go with Chris Black, the franchise Chris Black.
Chris Black is on the list of guys I want to step into the ring with. He is absolutely, as far as the Gulf Coast is concerned, one of the best out there. And I'm definitely looking forward to the day I can go toe-to-toe with him.
Awesome. And to me, that reminds me of one of my ultimate dream matches. I don't recall ever seeing the match. I mean, not necessarily as the 2 personas, but my ultimate dream match of wrestling is weird compared to most people's dream matches, but mine was Arn Anderson against the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. To me, you versus Chris Black would be the equivalent to that. What would you say your dream match of that ilk would be?
My dream match? You're just referring to Gulf Coast guys or just all time?
All time, doesn't matter if it's mainstream, Gulf Coast, whatever.
Wow. Honestly, I couldn't answer that question. There's a lot of matches I would like to see, so I guess I'll just pass. But, watching wrestling for as long as I've had, there's a lot of different styles that I enjoy. I like technical wrestling more than anything. But
Me too.
anytime you really put two styles, and you mentioned Anderson and DiBiase, they're kind of in the same world as because Ted DiBiase was a character, no doubt, $1 Million Man, but he could really wrestle at the end of the day.
Oh, no doubt, very one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time, in my opinion, in that respect.
Absolutely.
Okay, here's another topic, and I kind of wanted to save it for later here in this podcast. The Dark Side of the Ring. It's been highly acclaimed, especially the Benoit story and then the Road Warrior story. What are your collective thoughts on not just the show itself, but the stories behind some of those stories in pro wrestling? How does it affect you as not just a wrestler, but as a fan?
Well, pro wrestling is a wild business. It is unpredictable. I've heard similar stories that are talked about on those shows just in the last few years in this area. So that kind of gives you perspective that wrestling in a lot of places is still very, very much wild, wild west like. It's a little more tame, obviously, compared to the 80s and 70s and so. But I've enjoyed the series. I mean, it's been very, very good. As a matter of fact, I just watched the one on the Road Warriors recently, and I'm curious to watch the one about Owen Hart coming up.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely. Unfortunately, I don't have the channel on regular cable. Well, actually, I don't have regular cable anymore. I have YouTube TV. It's much better selection. But the one channel I don't have is the channel that it comes on. So I got Philo to go with it, and that's pretty much the only channel I get Philo for. And I've been watching every single episode. And to me, as a fan growing up and just seeing the stories, and I'm not going to lie to you, I cried like a baby when it was the Benoit one, because we all have our opinions and things, but to me, that was the most sad story of wrestling in general, because it not just changed lives, it just changed the landscape of wrestling in general.
It almost killed the business.
Yeah, it did, unfortunately, yeah. And a lot of wrestlers' deaths hit me hard, Owen Hart and so forth and so on, but no one hit my heart worse than Eddie's passing, and then ultimately Benoit's passing prior to seeing the details of what happened.
Right. Definitely said anytime a wrestler passes away, especially when they're so young.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of young, when Owen Hart tragically passed away, I can't remember how old he was at the time, but I was watching the pay-per-view at a friend's house, and when Jim Ross and King came on and said, unfortunately, we have to tell you that Owen Hart has tragically died, there's about 7 to 8 of us, and we were like dead silent. And I mean, sorry for the choice of words, but it was just deafening.
Right. Yeah, very sad. Owen Hart, especially, one of the greatest to ever lace up a pair of boots.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. In prime, let's just say it doesn't matter if they were WCW, WWE, whatever. In their prime, aside from Shawn Michaels, in in the technical field, who do you think you would have loved to face at just say like a WrestleMania or something?
Definitely one of the hearts. I mean, Brett or Owen, either one of them. Just very, very awesome wrestlers. And as far as technical is concerned, I mean, you can't get no bigger than that, in my opinion.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. Yeah, can't speak. That's pretty powerful right there. Let's see. Anybody got any questions? Before I have a few more left. Anybody else got any questions?
Come on, you got Big Vlad on the stream. Ask away, ask away. Let's have a good old time.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the chat, looking at the chat, seeing if there's any questions coming. And I hate to say it, but my Wi-Fi's fixing kick me off, so I'll hop back on in just a minute.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Cox Cable, thank you, but you suck. Yeah, we got weather here. That's why my Wi-Fi is acting like it is.
Typical American.
But since I don't see no questions, I do have one for you. One second. Yep, I'm fixing to get kicked off. I can see it on my thing. I'll be back in just a second. Cox Cable, you ruining it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, I think it's working now.
Good, good, good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Yeah, it's working now. Like I said, every time we there we go again. I'm back. Sorry.
Just let that mask off the Russian head. I don't think you could handle trying to slap the Russian's mask off his head. Anytime, MacDaddy Dud, you want to get in the ring with Big Vlad, I will knock that stupid beard off your chin.
Yeah, do that. Thanks, Koloff, for keeping the show going for me. I hate this stupid weather.
No problem.
That's actually the question I had before I got kicked off again. I'm a big fan of Matthew Aaron Dudley as well, but I don't know if y'all faced each other because, like I said, I've been venturing out just recently to different shows. But what kind of stipulation or what kind of match would you like to face him in?
Oh, I want that stupid beard of his. That's what I want. Whatever when I win, I can rip that stupid beard off his face. That would be the great day. A great day in DCW is when I get them shear clippers and just take that stupid thing off his chin.
Okay, let me play Booker for a minute. How about Vladimir Koloff and Matthew Aaron Dudley, MacDaddy Duds, in a mask versus beard match? However, it's not just any special kind of match or any type of match. It is a ladder match. You, Vladimir, have to grab the shears before he does. And if he grabs the shears, you got to unmask.
Look, I don't want just his beard either. I'm going to take the stupid hair off his head, the stupid eyebrows. He's going to be baby-faced when I'm done with him.
Yeah, let's book it. Book it.
Let's do it.
Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro, you're going bald.
You're going bald. Sorry, Mac Daddy Dud. No money in the world will be able to pay for a wig or a wig for your beard or anything good enough to. That's my point. I'm gonna knock it off. Slap your stupid beard off your stupid face. You're stupid.
So the question is, Mac Daddy does, are you going to do the CM Punk mask when he got shaved, or
He'll
Kurt
need
Angle
to. He'll need to.
or the Kurt Angle wig?
I'm gonna expose his little baby face. Is what's going to happen. The 1-2 punch and he's done.
As you can tell, when I'm shaved, I look younger. He'll probably look like he's 12, a tween. Okay, I'm gonna change it up a second. Instead of me having questions, they have questions. How about you ask them some questions, Vladimir?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the greatest of them all? I'll answer that for you. Vladimir Koloff. That is my question.
Yes. Question and answer. Okay, anybody else got any questions? I'm waiting for y'all. I want this to be interactive, but if it's just the Chris and Vladimir show, I'm okay with that too.
That's fine. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just want to give them a shot, but I don't. Okay, here we go. Woody crap. Sorry, Woody, I can't pronounce your last name. Forgive me, bro. I'm just gonna put it on the screen because I'm a butcher the name.
Who's my favorite fan? Let's see. When I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror, I see my favorite fan. I'm my favorite fan, my favorite cheerleader, my favorite person. I'm just my favorite.
Ain't that the truth? I got one. Perfect. I'm thinking a lot of wrestlers have their own talk show within the show. If you were to have one, what would it be called? And what would be your motif of it?
Big Vlad's primetime television extravaganza special with all the special announcements and all that stuff. The big Vlad primetime extravaganza bonanza. That's what we'd call it.
Nice. I like that. One character of the old school days that I'm a fan of on Twitter, and I think you're along the lines of this character. I think you would be just as amazing, and that's Iron Sheik. Make you humble.
Oh, but make you humble.
Okay, here's one. Like I said, these questions are just coming out of my head. Let's just say you and one of your partners from ME against any tag team of any generation of any company. Who would you face? Why? And would there be any kind of stipulation in the match?
Oh, the stipulations don't matter to me, but as far as tag teams are concerned, well, I'm not a big tag team wrestler. I will do it. Former tag team champion in various different places. I would say any member of the main event. Let's go against the Hart Foundation, because why not?
Oh yeah, I would love to
it.
see that. Yeah, let's do that. I was at the hold on, yeah, my ankle. I was at the AWA show last year. I forgot when. These timestamps are foggy in my head, but it was you faced Brim in the cage, I believe it was, and to me, my favorite cage of all time is the blue bar cage. What is your favorite cage match of all time? Not necessarily people in the match, but type of cage match.
I'd have to say the Hell in the Cell. It's barbaric.
Oh, definitely. I definitely agree. The original one with Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, King of the Ring, no, Bad Blood, Inner House Bad Blood. That
Yep.
was phenomenal.
Yep. I absolutely agree.
And then also the Hell in a Cell between Mankind and Undertaker. As you can tell, my background right there, I got that in a score. That was one of the all-time greatest matches of all time.
Oh, no doubt, people still talk about it today.
And speaking of Mick Foley, he was in a lot of it's how he got his ear cut off, Japanese death match. Would you partake in any of those type matches, or is that just not your cup of tea?
Um, that's an interesting question. I'll put it this way: if the money's right, if the money's right.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Let's see. Okay, let's put Vladimir Koloff in the Booker seat, the creative seat. Um,
Okay.
let's put an older generational star. Like I said, it could be Indies, it could be WWE, whatever, versus an up and comer of any generation. Book it for a WrestleMania main event. Who would you do, and who would you put in the match, and what kind of story would you tell with it?
You know, you would want to think about money and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just gonna go with the match that I would personally enjoy, um, and just build it around, just to, I'm not gonna be the only person that wants to see it, but I would say put a guy like, you know what? Let's go on the limb. I'd say Shawn Michaels versus Eddie Guerrero because it was a match that was supposed to happen,
Oh
and
wow, that
I feel like that would be a WrestleMania main event caliber match.
oh 100% made that wow. I was thinking of along the lines of that too myself. Um, but the reason why I asked this question, Vladimir, is a while back before all this crap happened with COVID. It was earlier this year. Not going to dive too much into how it came up with this, but I was talking to Tommy, Suicidal Soldier, and he had an amazing story if he were to make it to WWE between him and R-Truth, and he articulated it from the beginning of the feud all the way to the end, and it stretched in the story he told me it stretched over a year, maybe 2 years, and that's the kind of longevic storytelling I love personally. Wrestling fans nowadays, no offense to them, but they have the I don't want to say mentality, but they have the attention span of a squirrel. And to me, old school storytelling is where it's at for me.
And,
What's up,
and
James? How you doing, bro?
I agree. I agree. With that said, with today's attention span, it would probably be hard to try and book a match or a feud that would last that long. But you don't know. Sometimes you can just get lightning in the bottle and make it happen.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, these questions keep popping in my head. What are some feuds of wrestlers? I'm talking just mainstream now. That you didn't think would connect, but somehow it worked and it did. Two come to mind, and it involved one wrestler who's no longer with us, and his feud was with two. Well, let me rephrase that. Two of the three are no longer with us, but one was the Crush Macho Man heading into WrestleMania 10, and then the other one was Macho Man and DDP and WCW. On paper, it didn't seem like it would work out, but it did. I loved it. What are some feuds like that to you that you loved that you didn't see would work?
Well, I tried to keep an open mind when it comes to like the storylines and stuff because that's just the I guess it's the wrestler in me. I'm not sure, but I will say not so much, not so much the fans didn't think that it was going to click, more to the office. But when they started, just this is recent, the Daniel Bryan storyline from WrestleMania 30 and all that. I know that they initially weren't going to put him in that main event, but once again, it's that mentality of lightning in a bottle. They ended up with that, and then that something magical happened that throughout that whole program, and they did not intend on that. So that's what I would say, at least recently.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and that reminds me of another question, sort of, kind of. It doesn't necessarily tie into that, but like I said, that's just how my mind works. In wrestling, we have legitimate heart-tugging moments. One that comes to mind is WrestleMania 20. At the end of it, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit hugging after Benoit wins the World Heavyweight title after Eddie successfully defended the WWE title against Kurt Angle early in the night. Is there any other moments like that to you in wrestling that just hit you right there in the heartstrings?
That was definitely a big moment in time. Unfortunately, with what happened after kind of taints it, but I would say that when a lot of times when the wrestler is able to come back, make a bigger return, that kind of hits me there, because I think about myself, maybe if I'm in that position one day or something, but how I would feel, so I would have to go there.
Yeah, wow, yeah. And another thing, and it goes back to the Macho Man DDP thing. In not necessarily recent times, but off the top of your head, what are some big pops do you remember in wrestling? To me, there's two that legitimately surprising pops. One was when DDP was revealed to be Undertaker's wife at the time, Sarah's stalker, and the other one would be John Cena coming back at the Royal Rumble in 2008. Do you remember any genuine pops like that comes to your mind?
The first one recently that would come to mind is probably when CM Punk was at Money in the Bank in Chicago. That, I mean, obviously hometown guy, everyone thought he was leaving. It made it more for a big fight feel, and that's exactly what you got with the crowd. So I would have to go with that one.
I definitely agree with that. If you were, I'm not saying change your character or anything, but if you were to change your music, and I'm a big proponent of entrance music, not necessarily as a show type thing, but as it pertains to adding an aura around a wrestler. Like when CM Punk came back on Raw a week after John Cena and Rey Mysterio fought, or I think it was that night. My head's kind of foggy on that. But CM Punk came out to Cult of Personality, one of my favorite entrance songs, I might add. But what theme songs would you say would fit to you if you had a personalized choice, whether it fits your character or add to your character? What would that be in your thought process into it?
Well, to be honest, the current theme song that I have is what that is for me. Just made the change last year from just the Russian national anthem, which is a beautiful song in itself, the best anthem in the world. But once I changed my song to my current one, I not only did it, I feel like it gives the fans the vibe of what they're about to see, but it gives me kind of the hype up of getting to my own head and say it's time to go. It's we're ready.
Yeah, like it's Vader time. It's Koloff time. And
That's
one
right.
theme song that really comes out to the forefront of my mind is Stone Cold. When that glass breaks, it's your ass. That's the aura. That's the, like you were saying, it gets your mind pumped in and ready to get to business at hand. That's That's kind of like what I'm referring to right there.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, y'all got any questions for Mr. Koloff here? I don't see any. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any. Do you got any for me or anything like that?
No, I don't. But I will say that I've enjoyed doing this podcast, and it's been a good time.
Definitely, it has. Minus the stupid Wi-Fi kicking me off, and like I said, thank you for keeping the show going. But you're, like I said, you're one of my favorite wrestlers, and like I said, you have earned my, utmost 100,000,000,000% respect. And like I said, to me, I grew up. Most people were booing $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. This guy right here was actually rooting for $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. So you're of that ilk to me, and love to cheer whom everybody else hates.
Well, it is an honor. I appreciate that.
It looks like my Wi-Fi is fixing to kick me off again. As soon as I come back, if you want to wrap it up, we can wrap it up. Just give me a minute to get back in.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Actually, while he's doing that, I'll take the time to kind of just plug some
and
of
I
my
see
stuff
one.
up.
Somebody said,
Go ahead.
"Yeah, please do. Please, please promote. Please promote anything you would like to at this time.
No, I was just
I
going
can
to
just
say
feel it.
you can.
The thunder's starting to kick where I'm at, so that's what's causing the Wi-Fi to kick me off. So,
No problem at all. I was just going to say you can follow me on Facebook, Needs More Koloff, Twitter, Needs More Koloff, Instagram, Needs More Koloff. I have a YouTube channel. Just type in Needs More Koloff or Vladimir Koloff. Follow all my platforms. If you want to buy merchandise, you can go to teespring.com/store/Needs More Koloff and buy some good content there. And just keep following me. I appreciate it.
yeah, definitely 100%. I agree. Follow Koloff, and if you could still hear me, if y'all could still hear me, it's been awesome. And like I said, I'm fixing to get kicked off in just a second. I'll hop on and we can do some closing statements if you'd like to do that. I'll be getting back on in just a second.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Like I said, guys, just follow me on all my social medias, and definitely tune in for the future. You know, once COVID's over with, and or we're at least running shows again around the world. You know, definitely am looking forward to getting back on the road.
Here I go.
Mike Britt says, Koloff for president. I don't know if I could be president legally, but I'll do it. I could run it better than the other guy.
Hey, you got my vote. I don't care what anybody says. You got my vote, bro. But no, all joking aside, thank you, Koloff. You've been amazing. Like I said, keep it on, keep being you. And I just want to thank you for hopping on. Maybe next time in the future we can do this, and the weather will cooperate, and my internet will cooperate too. But before we start to wrap up,
I definitely appreciate your time. It's been fun. John Taylor, you sucked. You're minuscule. You're stupid. You're just terrible. You know, quit obsessing over me, and just say it one more time, just to I'll say it one more time, one good time, just to let everybody know that everyone and everything needs more Koloff.
And that is that. And yeah, that's what I was going to bring up, John Taylor. John, I like you, bro, but don't be hating on my bro here. Koloff is the ultimate bro, just saying.
That's right.
Yeah, like I said, about to wind up or wind down. Like I said, any last thoughts, words, and we'll close this out.
Just once again, everyone needs more Koloff. My social medias, all of them at Needs More Koloff. Be sure to follow me. Appreciate the support and looking forward to the future.
Oh, definitely, me too. And before we officially close, and while Vladimir's still here, the contest that we were mentioning earlier, I'm gonna download this from StreamYard. I'm gonna upload it to YouTube, and here's the contest. Get Vladimir out there. For those of you who liked this video and shared it, you're automatically entered into the contest. But what I want you to do is once I upload it to YouTube, I want you guys to share the heck out of it, get Vladimir's name out there, and you'll get added to the thing too. And in a few weeks, I will be doing a giveaway. It'll be a Vladimir Koloff t-shirt and signed picture. And the winner of it, I will be going live and doing like a lethal lottery with everybody's name, and whoever gets randomly picked will win the merch. Like I said, thank you again, Vladimir, and keep on keeping on. And I am so excited for wrestling to get back.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Have a good one. Stay safe, bro. And all you guys out there watching, thank you for watching. And good night. See y'all later. Peace.